So, kick off the meeting. Receive apologies. We've had apologies from the Vice Chair, who won't be able to join us this evening. Next item is to approve the minutes of the last meeting. Anyone have any comments on the previous meeting's minutes?
No.
Okay, I'll sign those at the end. Quick update from me. Not too much to update, because I haven't really been here very much. So the small claims court application can be done online. So haven't quite got around to talking to the clerk about it, but just getting all the documentation from different sources together. So I'm hoping that will happen before Christmas. So
Very good.
have no travel before now and Christmas. As you've all seen, the monkey wall has been installed. I think it's been a bit of a hit with the...
I've heard really good reports. I've gone past a couple of times. A guy came out the other day and said, "Oh, tell the council, thank you very much."
Has he been using it?
No, yeah, his kids on it. His kids were on it.
I know I've been wanting to use it, but there's always been people walking past. So,
No, the kids were on it. The kids loved it.
obviously, we've had some further work on Buttercup Way from councillors, knights and residents, so thanks very much for that.
Yeah. Thank you, Alison.
Very good.
I'm going.
I have to say, it's a little disappointing that the Christmas event at the showground has appeared to have collapsed a bit. Obviously, that was one of the reasons we didn't do our village one this year. But I think just, which everyone's seen on Facebook, there are lots of vendors who have material to get rid of.
Well, the what's it gang, the tree gang, I'd offered him this on Sunday.
He sold out.
But he doesn't need it.
Excellent. So
Yeah, he passed his information through and we posted it on Pickmere Press on Resident Association.
It was on everything.
It's been
It was
phenomenal.
on everything.
It went on routines.
It's been phenomenal, the amount of...
Yeah.
Okay. I published two questionnaires on the Parish Council Facebook page. One is about local pharmacy services, which is a statutory requirement every 4 or 5 years, and one from Cheshire Police, so if we can ask residents to fill those in. We have the final meeting with the Police and Crime Commissioner in December. Because of, I guess, work commitments and things, just wanted to say that if either myself or Nick are not available, then we'll be reaching out to other people to attend on our behalf. I have to say, nice to see the Christmas tree again. Thanks very much to the Barretts for their kind donation.
Well, it was the warm welcome that put it up. The Barretts donated last year, and so the warm welcome put that up, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
It was their tree.
Oh, yeah.
If there was no tree, there'd be no...
Yes, I see what you mean. Yeah,
So we just pinned decorations to the curtains.
And then I think
the change the thoughts yourself.
everything else is going to appear on the agenda. So
okay.
that's my quick zoom through. We have a large patch agenda. Declaration of interest, financial or otherwise, for any agenda item. Does anyone have anything they would like to disclose?
I think so.
Okay. Public forum. Anyone in the public forum want to say anything? I guess not. Okay, that's good. So moving on to 5, which is a new improved item. Correspondence.
It was just a couple of things that don't usually get forwarded around, but thought I would share. I had a email from a boy called Milo, who is 13 and lives in Pickmere and wants to, is signed up for the Bronze Duke of Edinburgh and wants to do some litter picking around Pickmere next year, April and June.
Yeah,
sorry?
absolutely fine.
Yeah. And so, yeah, so I've sent him a consent form for any pictures, if we can share that once he's doing it and he takes pictures and we can share that. maybe on
Do you
social
want to send them in my
media.
direction?
Sorry?
Send them in my direction and I'll sort them out. I've done 6 or 7 kids around who've done it.
Will you still be here then, Sarah?
Oh yes, I'll
Will
be here
you?
right until the election.
No, but you're not living
I
here.
didn't mean here, I meant living.
I can still sort them out though,
All
so
right.
don't worry about that.
Okay, perfect. And so, yeah, and then we've had an email, I think this was just the day after the last, it was about the Armistice Day, about poppies. I know that there was a lot of social media about it, but we did have a complaint email from a resident who was quite sad that there wasn't anything, and I have replied that we would
Can I
potentially
respond to that? Because we'd actually said at the last meeting that we should have,
Yeah.
perhaps done something. I know who the lady is, not mentioning names, but
Well, there was
anybody
There was
could
more than
have
one.
come forward. But I'm planning of doing Project Poppy as a resident, not as a councillor, and just encouraging everybody to make poppies, and then next year we can bring it back to the council.
You can
and ask
actually buy the big ones, can't you, though, for a tenner?
Yeah,
you know,
who
the
wants
ones-
to pay a tenner?
Well, that's what other people are doing in other villages. They're paying a tenner each.
I mean, the money goes to the Royal British Legion.
Yeah, it does. It's not like it's going to
Can I just finish?
somebody's
here?
fund.
Can I just finish? So I was going to get the whole village involved as much as possible, either with knitting, sewing, donating in respect of wool or felt or whatever.
Didn't
I
we
think
actually
that's-
discuss as well though?
We did.
As you said about the statutes,
Yeah,
as a council, to do something like that.
yeah. And there's actually a couple on the, where the Hoking crossroads is.
Yeah.
There's a couple there, so that's what I'm talking about if anyone's wondering what they are.
I think that's a good idea, Lorraine, because
Be-
people will pop. Sorry, I thought you finished.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. I think people can put their own input and input onto the actual event, because I know I've seen something like that done where families have made their own poppy, and what they've done is they've put a picture of one of their relatives in the actual poppy itself and things, and they look really good.
Yeah.
And I think it just brings something more personal, because we haven't got a memorial here.
No, sadly, I think it'd be good if we could do something eventually.
But I think that just brings the personal touch back to it.
Well, I just thought everybody, and particularly the keyboard warriors, can get involved.
Yeah.
I think the thing with Pickmere, with it being not having a memorial, is that when you think about Pickmere from years and years ago, it was a farming community, so farmers didn't even have to go
Reserved
to war.
occupation.
So that's why we haven't got any.
Oh, it wasn't a criticism, it's a fact.
That's why we haven't got any people who, have gone
Have
to
family.
have had families who have gone to war, really. And Pickmere also was very, very small, wasn't it? I mean, we're talking,
Oh, gosh.
a couple of hundred, 200-300 people maximum, back.
But it would be nice if we're going to have the flagpole in that sort of area there for these.
Yeah.
Maybe we should put it as an agenda item going forward. What month next year?
So is it usually in?
Well, I thought if we do it about August.
Yeah, we
I
want it.
don't think we leave it too late, that's
No,
for certain.
I don't want to leave
I was going to start this off in January.
Yeah, I
But
think
then in August you make a decision about what to do with all the poppies that have been
Okay.
up.
Do you want to bring a report to January's meeting?
Yeah.
Your ideas. I think we talked about flagpole before, and then it didn't get done for different reasons. But we have got VE Day, 70th anniversary, so we need to kick the flagpole off at least.
Yes.
Victory in Europe.
You have spoken about that memorial and gardening type
The
thing,
Japan
so we
one.
could incorporate it in that sort of
Victory in
So we
Japan.
get it for
yeah.
little
VJ
days.
Day or something.
hopefully we'll have one of flowers next year.
Okay. All right. And I suppose the thing I'd say in our defence is that we did hold a commemoration of
Yeah,
D-Day
D-Day, we
and
did.
raised hundreds of pounds for the Royal British Legion. So, as a village, I think it's slightly wrong to say that we don't care.
I think it's very wrong. And I think anybody can come forward and do something.
Well, we did have somebody who paid the last post, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah?
As they do every year.
Was it Roy?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the village hall did have poppies on it.
Yeah, it did.
Okay, moving on.
Had another one was about a defibrillator, but that is something Peter is going to be talking about later. And then the last one was I think something that Alison had spoke to Councillor Hague about, and that was about gritting the Pickmere lane not getting gritted. But actually, I think Highways have come back and said that it was gritted, and it is on the and that was it.
It was gritted early and then it rained.
Okay, so moving on to finance.
Yes, no report from Councillor Kate.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Did we have an email from Kate?
Nothing, no.
Do you want to maybe contact Kate and see if she wants to be taken off the agenda? Because that was three meetings.
Yeah, I can do.
Okay, moving on to finance.
Yep, so there was a couple of big payments that went out last month. So the big one was the insurance. Another one was there was a couple of grounds maintenance payments that went out to WAP and Amos. Yeah, there's quite a few payments because I got on the banks, so I was able to set up quite a few payments that needed to be paid.
Just one point on that, and it's really minor and it's probably totally irrelevant, but just the payment for the cleaning of the hall, it's down as a cleaning salary. It's not a salary, is it? I'm just not sure we want to say that it's a salary because that might suggest...
Well, she's
No.
not employed by us.
Exactly.
No, yeah.
As such,
Right.
she's,
It's not a
we
salary.
pay her to clean.
It's an expense, village hall expenses.
Cleaning fees?
Cleaning fees. Okay.
Actually, Nina's not here this week. The cleaner.
Okay. So she has been set up as a standing order to
Is
be
she?
paid, yes, a set fee every month. So,
That's my fault. She sent me a message on Monday and I completely forgot about it.
whereas I'll look into then how many. So is it just, does she just come the one day or?
She does one day, I think.
She chooses which day she's going to go herself to suit her.
She's had a small one.
She normally comes on a Tuesday.
Okay, so if you can get that reconciled and can make an adjustment.
And then I've got some more payments to come out. So it's paying Finding Fitness for the monkey wall. There is the external audit payment that got missed. I think because that was around the time that I was just joined. Pest control for the village hall. And I bought some light bulbs, which I've forgotten to bring tonight. But yes. And then my salary, which I wanted to kind of discuss. It's been, my hours were quite a bit over this month. I guess because I got on the accounts, so I was able to kind of go through the backlog of all the accounts with Scribe and input all the data. I think there's about 3 months worth. But then also the budget has taken up quite a bit. And I've done some training as well. So hopefully I can rein it in, but I didn't know what.
Your training, you need to let me know that comes off the budget.
Oh no, so the I guess the times, yeah. So I asked you first and then you approved
Well,
it.
just
and then,
the budget, do you mean training with Chalk?
yes.
Will that come, there is a budget for the clerk?
Yeah, so I only did the ones that you authorised.
Yeah.
I've only done them.
Okay.
But they were both this month.
Oh.
And so yeah, so it's just kind of letting you guys know that I've done more this month and yeah, how you guys feel about it, because obviously my salary is then in the budget, so going over that is then going over what we budget.
How many hours are it?
So this month it was 49, which it's as of 35. It was quite a bit over this month.
You were catching up.
And do you anticipate that it will be over every time, or just you think that's just a one-off?
I don't imagine it would be this month.
Yeah, sorry, I mean...
No, absolutely, yeah. No, yeah.
I think
do you
it's,
need to?
for me it's okay, because you sort of try and hit the ground running and get up to speed and everything. So I think we need, to be effective, you need that training. And so you need the hours
To do that.
so at the moment.
I don't have a problem with it.
No.
Do we have to vote on it?
I think we probably, as it's financial, we probably would have to just
Sure.
propose it, second it and vote that that's okay.
I think maybe going forward, if you could let us know when you're...
When I'm hitting over that mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Just to all of you, or just to select few?
if you give it to the President of the Finance Committee, me and Peter and Simon, I think. Whoever the Finance Committee are, give us a heads up.
Yeah.
So just in case I propose
Okay, we just check what we're voting on.
that we're agreeing to her
Pay the clerk.
paying the clerk those extra hours for the work.
But I just want to confirm the hours.
35 are the hours.
Standard hours.
The standard hours.
And you've done,
49.
14 extra.
but not 49 extra. 49
No,
in
sorry,
total.
yes.
Okay, so the proposal is that we pay the clerk the extra hours up to 49 hours. So do you want to propose?
I'll second.
I will.
Okay, vote for. Yes, you don't have to vote for free.
Oh, hang on.
This one. Okay.
Was that not?
It's very kind of you to offer that.
Of course. Yeah, unless there's any other comments on any of the this month.
Can I ask one question, sorry?
Yeah.
What was spirit levels?
So, I don't quite know what this spirit levels is, but it comes out regularly.
It's
not been?
no, it's Spirit Life.
Okay, this is the paying in to us, isn't it? This is
Yeah.
someone using the hall.
So we do a spirit group,
Okay.
you know, in a circle and speak to people.
It's not a seance.
Is there anybody there?
But if you
It's
look
not,
on
is it? You've been.
if you look on our Facebook page on the Monday, everything's listed there, so
That from this week.
to allow you to choose what you want to go and do.
Absolutely. Good.
Anything else on finance?
Yes, so I guess it's the budget really, as this needs to be kind of, the precept needs to be agreed, and everyone kind of needs to approve the budget.
Do we have to do it at this one?
Ideally, rather than I can.
Isn't it, I think? Is it 9th or the 12th or something?
Of January.
Yeah, it's got to be in time.
Yes.
You did send what somebody Field from Cheshire East had sent out.
Does it have, can't remember, does it have to be available for public to view before it goes out? I can't remember whether it's this one or whether it's for a certain
We're
amount
supposed to
of...
discuss it.
But also, I mean, what I mean is if it's got to go out on a specific time, I can't remember whether we actually have to allow the public a certain number of weeks to be able to view it before it actually goes out as well.
Not that I'm aware of, but we can
No,
try.
it's that, yeah. I can't remember if that's what it's after.
The
No,
budget
they can
needs to
review
be.
the accounts.
it
They
needs to be-
can review the
It
accounts.
counts, isn't it?
In the summer.
Yeah, sorry, it's the accounts, yeah, it's not the
But
budget.
yeah, I have a deadline of the 17th of January.
But the Cheshire East are doing their budget, aren't they? Sometime in December, after this meeting.
Yeah.
I think it's 8th or 9th or something like that.
The
Because
11th
one
of December.
Is it? Because one of the reports was the fact that Cheshire East are putting out all the costs for elections to parish council, and they say you need to put some money in. And how much are they going to charge? We're not telling you.
They don't know.
So we had a similar thing last year, if you remember, that after we'd set our budget, they then said, oh, by the way, you're going to have to look after your own grass vergers, etc.
Oh, yeah.
Which didn't particularly affect Pickmere, but there were other things, weren't there, that might have. So
Well, the year before was the bins, the green bin, wasn't it? Halfway through the year as well.
So I wonder whether we should deliberately hold off a bit longer if we can, just to see if they're going to come out with anything else.
Well, we can. I mean, I don't know who's had the budget. Obviously, the
Finance committee have.
I've not.
I also think there are a number of things we'll discuss tonight that may or may not impact on the budget. So I think
Hold on.
if we take it to the next meeting, but before that, if we circulate,
Circulate
Yeah.
each of them. Yeah.
I think. I mean, one of the things we have to wrestle with is we're currently on a negative 5,000 budget, which we can cover because we have fantastic reserves, although we should be using those on improving our assets. But at some point, if we don't raise the precept, then my calculation is when the money is spent or runs out, whoever's sitting here will have to raise it by 20%.
Right.
So we need to take that into account.
Yeah.
And we do have to now, I think, put money aside. And I think, for me, a net, what would be prudent is to have a net amount of money for a year. Because you would think that we would always get our precept.
Yeah.
But I'm not that convinced anymore with Cheshire East.
No.
And if they did go into administration, I'm not sure what happens, because I don't think it's happened in my lifetime. But we could end up with no money coming.
Right, I can see.
So it's
So you think we should have, sitting in the bank, we should have a year's worth of budget potentially sitting in the bank,
Yeah.
in case the precept doesn't come through?
The advice is that you have 6 months, but we've always worked on having, before we went to this account, we used to have a separate, there used to be 2 accounts, and one account was just with a separate year's precept in it, in case of emergencies. So the advice is 6 months.
Yeah.
We've always had a year, because obviously if something goes pear-shaped, it's not going to suddenly repair itself within 6 months. So a year just gave us that extra leeway. So that's how we'd always played it in the past. Obviously we've never needed it.
Was that on top of the sort of reserve for cutting the grass and these other reserves? And
Well, basically, whatever the precept was, we had a reserve.
Right.
They're exactly the same in reserve.
okay, but I'm not suggesting that we keep 100% of the precept. I'm suggesting we keep 100% of the net expenditure. Like
which is currently more than precept.
yeah, we'll get things like the VAT back.
Yeah.
No,
We have
that's
to pay
fine.
out.
I'm just saying how it's been done.
Because I think-
That would work just as best.
Whether you have 6 months or a year is reasonable when your authority isn't on the teaching on the edge. And we're small, we haven't got very much money, and it could be a disaster if we don't get any money. Everything would shut. So I think what we need to do is just maybe update the budget after we've had our discussions tonight, then send it round to everybody, and then we can vote on it at the next meeting. Although I appreciate it's a bit of a tax grab from the current government, so people are going to be under pressure with their household budgets. That makes sense?
Yeah. But then again, we don't know how much Cheshire East are putting theirs up by.
No.
It gives you some sort of figure, but until they actually put it in.
Well, they're going to, I think I read they're going to 3-week black bin collection.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
See, that's, yeah.
so the rats are very pleased. I'm not sure I am, but
No, I'm terrible.
okay. Right, anything else on finance we need to cover? Okay, so the decision is that we'll update the budget, circulate to everybody, vote on it in the next meeting, which will give the clerk at least 2 days to submit.
The big name bit of it, well done.
Yeah.
No extra time though.
Indeed. Okay. Heading on to planning matters.
Yes, so it was just to say that the single-storey front entrance lobby got approved with conditions, and there was an application that went through for Mayview Farm, but they came back saying that they didn't need prior approval. That was that. It's quite slim pickings.
That's loud. That's from home, is it? Okay. All right. So moving on to updates from the previous meetings. Another exciting new agenda item.
Yes. I just needed somewhere to kind of be able to update on things that I guess have been actioned from things. So there was an agenda item on about from, I think this is from the October meeting, and this was about the additional payments that went to HMRC for that standing order that went to them for Gemma. And it was just to say that I've contacted Buxton Accounting and who do the payroll, and they said that it would get automatically adjusted through HMRC. To just confirm that. And the tree leaning, I think it was on Bob's land or near Bob's land. The Will Ancestral Tree Care, they have confirmed the works to take place on the 18th of February. And it's been, I'm getting the garden waste collection subscribed. Hopefully they have to do it separately for us because we are not on their drop down address list, so we are supposedly not,
I guess we don't pay council tax, so we won't be on the council tax list.
So they've had to have a separate thing for us.
Pay rent.
Yeah, we're going to pay the same amount anyway, but we have to do it a different way, so that's still ongoing.
But we'll get a sticker for the bin.
Yeah, we will, yes. The ash waste payments that were coming out, they said that we needed to ring them to cancel it, and that's why they kept coming to collect. I don't know if you saw in the actual finance that we had another payment to them again. So I contacted them after cancelling, and they have apologised. They weren't taken off. We weren't taken off their route once I did cancel. So they have now put us as in credit for that payment that was put on there. And then I have got again lots of contact with contractors for all the works that need doing. I've had Ian Potts come back with a quote on the gutters and other works that need doing, so I'll let you, it's just before we came here, so I'll sit looking at that as well. If anyone had any contacts of anyone, electricians, roofers, everything, just please text them now over to me. All of my contacts are really busy.
So it's good that plumber first set price, small fixes. I mean, he works around it, it's really good, but he just charges X amount to do a job. And he won't do full refits or anything. It's good.
Showing back.
Right, so we'll move on to the report. Although Peter's stolen my thunder in the morning. Just an update from the Parish Council of Cheshire East and Parish Council of Cheshire East held. So since the inception of Cheshire East, they've never charged parish councils for elections. They are statutory. There's a statutory requirement for them to London, and they have got the ability to charge, but they haven't, apart from where people resign as an additional election. obviously, to increase their revenue, Cheshire East Council have passed a motion that says they will recover costs for elections as much as possible. So at the meeting, it suggested that parish and town council increase their precept to cover the cost. Obviously, everybody wanted to know what the cost was, and the answer was they don't know. If we have an uncontested election, we don't have enough people, more people than seats, that will be cheaper. But how much cheaper, we don't know. And it all depends apparently on an algorithm which contains the electoral size, proportion of cost of delivery of poll cards, proportion of staffing costs, and accommodation costs, which I guess will wash through because we'll charge them for the village hall and then they'll charge us for charging them for the village hall. I don't know whether we do it free. Yeah, probably. Maybe we just give it free. I don't know. But when we know the details, so also my recommendation are we know the information from Cheshire East, and when we do the budget, we consider using the precept.
I remember being a discussion at one point that if Councillor resigned and to be elected mid, I think somebody said the cost of an interim election like that was about £2,500.
Yeah.
So I know the figure may not be that, but that might be a reasonable figure for us to start from, I guess.
Yeah.
But that's quite a lot of money. Well, I suppose it's every 4 years, but that's still £600+ a year.
Yeah. But I don't know what that was based on, where that was based on.
I think
Previous time it happened.
yes, I don't know either. No.
So there will be inflation then. And also, according to this, it's the number, like polling card.
Yeah.
So maybe if there's 2 people, it's cheaper than if there's 8 people, 10 for some, but I think something in that region. It's
You
probably,
you have to have that in place, I know, in case something like you have to have votes.
no, but we still have to have that in place. This is,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just have to.
okay, so maybe we say 2.5, was it? Okay, so that becomes 6. But we don't have to recover it this year.
But do you not just get somebody in? You don't have to have a
It just depends. It all depends on what you decide. Yeah, so it depends on. But the rule of what.
Well, that's what I meant.
But that's not always. You're not always able to do it, so you have to have the election stuff. I think the rest of the land actually, there's 2 people. Yeah. The rest of the land, yeah, definitely right. Yeah, yeah, but it does actually sort of say about the costs that sort of things don't do it because you might get it. You can do it all. We can do it like something.
Okay, that's, well, we're talking about over a 4-year period, that's an extra £750 a year. It's going to have to be in the budget because that is a definite cost every 4 years to pay for that. Then, well, it's a definite cost. The amount is unknown, but it's definite. We're going to have to pay for that every 4 years. Yeah.
Would that be even if, say, the same people wanted to go through and nobody else wanted to come on? Would you pay them?
Yeah.
That's to give the forms have to decide whether people are eligible, or they just have to count up how many seats there are and how many people apply. But either the law says they can do it or the law says they can't, or it says they can. Right, agenda item 10.2 is just an update on parking restrictions in Pickmere. So we've had an updated Cheshire East highways. Nick and I again have gone back and reiterated the points that were raised by residents during our 2 sessions. Obviously,
Because the copy these, I can't read them at all. See it? Because I've asked Cheshire East for the bigger one. If that's the same thing you did, you can't read it. Because you can't update.
Yeah, when we had the meeting, the basis that we were discussing there was what had been discussed between previous Pickmere Parish Council and Cheshire East in the past.
So this is the dated one. You need a copy of it.
Yeah.
A large copy that you can actually read.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we just went wrong.
I've never just had my eyes today, I can't read it. So.
And it just blurs.
So it must be the way it's been put on here, the lost quality of it.
Yeah.
But the boxes with notes in, you can't read them.
So we can share the big one. Which zooms up. It's really good was.
I'm just thinking then, if I'm going to share it, I'll be sharing that with the public. Yeah.
I mean, we can do it, but at the end of the day,
It's not what we're going to get.
yes, yeah. So the process now is that Cheshire will go to their parking colleagues. Well, they're both, and then they'll probably share it with Cheshire West, and they'll get feedback from them, and then they will go through the consultation process where they will give the official version to the residents of Pickmere.
So I should just only be sharing with the council.
Yeah. You might. They may change again based on our feedback and share it as a provisional one, but that's. The one before this thing said don't share with anybody. This one they didn't say don't share with anybody. But I think the official, the one that comes out from them, their process, we can only find not.
Actually, these things just say if someone's interested in it, they could contact us.
Yeah. So you are then making it available for you to see this going on. I think it's not going to be the one
It's
that's.
not hard, I went to the hard copy.
Yeah.
You can share with them in a point of privilege with me. They don't have to share with us, they can go with that. But we've been collaborative so far, so I don't think we should be sharing it.
Also, it's not what we're going to get. It's not going to find. It's one of the things that came up at the forum. Yeah, survey. Surgery. What is happening?
Well, but this, okay, but this has been on every agenda for the last 3 months, so I can just suggest they read the minutes or they watch the video. Not as much as we do.
I don't think there's anything to share at this point, personally. I think that the police haven't made a decision on what they're going to do. There's no point in getting people. There's no point in getting people's hopes either up or down as to what it might be. We could leave what's notified and say, yes, we have got this job. Or unless you just say, you know, it's being dealt with, you know, and we are not people who can deal with it. We don't.
And that is the point we are. Yeah, we are the authority that deals with this. We've done our best to influence. Okay. So yeah, we'll share that around. We've got a copy of it. Okay. My other questions moving on to 10.3. So the concerns raised at Councillors Surgery. But we haven't done this before, so is there any reason we're doing it now?
But we did do when we did the first surgery down at the pavilion, that Jane read out and Lorraine read out what people had actually said. Yeah, we did. Yeah, I thought we did. That's the only reason why I then did it. I thought this was the process that we went through.
I think we have done. I think it's feedback from the surgery, so I think it should be fed back to the council.
Yeah.
And put out for, if you want, sorry for using the word transparency, so that people know what's been fed.
One, two. No, there were 4 people that commented.
The children councillors. Okay. All right. So, if we developments,
Those are the comments that came.
and then the comments that you gave back to them.
Well, all the charging down at the lake, they can't comment. Because we don't know, and what we can say was that it is being discussed in council. The concern that was raised there was if the charging does go ahead down at the lake, then what contingency is there for the orchards? The orchards are very concerned that if there's charging down at the lake and people don't want to pay it, that they will just go straight up to the orchards. And the residents there have said, what are you doing? What is the council doing about this?
Possibly that it has life as well.
Yeah, we can say is that yes, it's
You haven't discussed this until we had clarity on where to give a line going. But I think the other side of that is we are talking Cheshire East Public Space Protection Order.
Yeah.
And we need someone to enforce it, so we don't need the Cheshire Rangers to enforce it. And we're going to have to pay their salary, which will be more than the preset. So we can double the preset, or we can look for other ways of raising money, which might be raising money through parking.
it's a concern that they want to make sure that the council work out.
The next one. So almost 2 years on from election and nothing appears to have changed, been done regarding yellow line to inform visitors. But
Then it's just feedback from them, that's how they do the monthly.
list the things that we've done.
That's, yeah.
They were happy with that.
No, they're still very disappointed that it's winter now, we've gone through another summer, and that they're dreading and they don't want to go through another summer the same, without seeing that something has been done. This is just people's perception.
Can I ask, are they blaming the council or do we understand that it's actually nothing to do with us and we're waiting for?
They are blaming the council to a certain extent, yes.
But we all know that it isn't the council.
Yes, why are they blaming the council? Because there are, sorry.
We've had this for years, that the council has been defaulted because we are the parish council, and for years we've said that actually it's not anything that we can physically do to change the situation. And before this, we started the process of the consultation with Yellow Lines, which has been taken over now and it's still progressing. And when we started it and we'd gone round, they said to us then that it was going to take 4 to 5 years, and we're only 2 years, probably 3 years into the process. So the trouble is, as a council, we're the focus, and it's one of those things that I'm afraid you're going to get targeted, as you always are. People are going to think that you're the council, you need to get on and fix it.
Landowner as well.
Yeah, so we just have to accept it and keep saying we're trying to work. We are continuing to progress with it.
That's all you can say.
We are basically just hostage to Cheshire East's decision-making process.
Well, I mean, maybe for the record then, I think we've done a lot in the 2 years that we've been around. It feels longer. 18 months.
Longer next June is 2 years.
So I think
Again, I think it boils down to as well feedback.
what I think we do feedback is
Yes,
that's
but
up to you. Yeah.
that's all we can do, is keep pushing it and pushing it.
The first thing we do is we contact police and crime commissions. But we now have an interdisciplinary meeting, which is police and crime commissioner, estimate base office, the ward councillors from Cheshire West, fire service, all the 4 parish councils, and we meet every 3 months, and we have made progress. They have put pressure on those that can make the difference. But we also have Cheshire East Highways, we have Cheshire East Health and Safety, Cheshire West Highways, Cheshire West Health and Safety. I mean,
well, hopefully the meeting on the council will bring something a bit more, that, you know, we can then pass that to people and say this is what is being discussed.
I don't think we'll bring any more, because I think we've got the list of things we've got the public space protection on there. We put together a Facebook page where residents can put anti-social and illegal parking on, so they can report that to Cheshire East. You can then issue a ticket on the picture. I don't know what other things we've done.
Well, just like,
During the summer months, they come every day. I think the centre of the East Universe.
people always say that as spring approaches, we start putting these things out on media and social media, that this is what you can do.
Or repost it.
Repost it.
All the time. People still really haven't done it. It's a bit.
Exceptions, so we just have to keep having it.
Well, it's all I can do that my fellow councillors. Possibly by people who say you haven't done anything, give them a bit done. But at the end of the day, we have no powers. We can't arrest people, we can't ticket people, we can't make or any other lives. Yeah.
Questions that are going for years.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, you do so.
But it's good. I mean, at least there seems to be a light. Okay, and then the third one, plans for PE Day 2025 as a community and event and not a party.
Are we going to do anything as a council? What are we,
We are.
what are we,
That's like
what are we proposing to do? And can we have it, if you are going to do anything, can we ensure that it isn't a celebration?
The thing I'll say about that is I understand that point of view for D-Day. The D-Day planning will not be a party or a celebration. But the UK government's own website on VE Day is saying that it's a celebration in the war, and that they're encouraging people to hold party as they did on the first VE Day. So to me, this one is a party because we're celebrating the end of something. The D-Day wasn't a party because it was a very. But what I can say is that's what the government did.
I think
Yeah.
But there was a party.
yeah.
You've got a treat.
It's always been celebrated in 2 ways. It's been celebrated with the memorials and commemorations, but it's also always been celebrated with a bit of a party in terms of things like the street parties. And you know, in lockdown, we had the VE Day parties, which were sort of and individuals' house parties, and we celebrated it in that way. And I think it has to be a celebration at the end of something very unpleasant.
Does anybody know any date? Yeah.
Around June 6th.
Well, June 6th from the.
Yeah.
That's D-Day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so
D-Day.
something like
The 8th of May, 2025.
Well,
Maybe that's something you can refer to the events group.
yeah.
Well, that was just the general comments that we passed to.
I mean, the only thing is on Thursday, the 8th of May, I imagine we're off work. Yeah.
you do it on the nearest weekend, don't you?
But there are.
Not actually, David. I think there's meant to be some sort of government. I don't know if they're out or not.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Okay.
No, they're not giving a holiday.
Yeah. It's next to that. I think, it's amazing. Anyway, there's not good place. Moving on. 10.4 report on group bin, who's Who's had equipment? Sorry, just the Friday is VJ Day. Is it VJ Day then? So the VJ Day is it's August 15th, 1945 to 2025. So it's 80 years for VJ Day in August this year.
So it's not VE Day. We've got. Yes.
It's the 80th anniversary of VJ Day. Yes.
I think we've always Britain celebrated V Day more than VJ Day. The states because of their relationship with the
Okay, so it's VJ, but it's pretty important bit of VJ Day. Yeah. Excellent, thank you. Right, grip bins.
On to the grip bins, we talked about these earlier on in the year. Do you remember we, as a council, there were various requests made of where we would like them. And Cheshire East then came out and said, no, that area doesn't warrant it, you can't have one there. And no, that area doesn't warrant it, you can't have one there. But we are able to purchase a grip bin and have it filled for a cost of £500. Per bin? Yes. A lot of money.
I think of the precept, how many do we need? 3, 4?
Well, there are grip bins in the village.
One on your estate.
There's one on Merehaven, which I believe the builders actually ensured that was put there. And we've had it filled when it was first put there, but it's now getting ready for refill again. It is invaluable because the number of times we've been stuck there. But
Cheshire East built it originally. That's
we did it originally, but
Cheshire County Council.
Well, left as you went down Clover Drive.
And there was,
that's when it's clear.
I think they disintegrate though, even though they're that yellow plastic, don't you?
Yeah, I was going to say that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, that was getting on.
I think the buying back.
Well, when you think about it, you look expensive about plastic, you know it's a non-difference thing.
There is one also in Crofters, but that was supplied by the residents themselves. They bought them and they paid to have that done. But it's clear that Cheshire East are no longer going to reload the grip bins. We can't have them, so do the council want to purchase a grip bin where is necessary, and do the council want to offer funds to people who refill their grip bins?
My thoughts.
Well, I'm just thinking about, I absolutely see where Alison's coming from. The problem is, that'll be nearly all the precepts, won't it? Yes, exactly. And only for people in here. So it's like saying, well, that street, and that street, and that's all the money gone. Well, it's allowed to know, right?
No, they're not.
Well, is there anywhere that we feel in the village that really does need a grip bin for safety?
Is that our decision to make who's...
Well, no, because Cheshire East said that the places where we wanted them don't want it.
I don't think you can say that the orchard joking way
Anyway, when did it help?
going down that drive can be a bit tricky at times because it's all over the place.
I think well, my thought was, I think I did this last time. The one thing that worries me about the location is if you take the poor location, we all live within 500 yards of them. And Pickmere's a bigger village than where we all live. So I don't think the optics are very good, but I think the range point is very good. If we say that £500 each, and we've got one to fill, I don't know how much filling it is, but probably 270, that's 10% of our precept. So we'd have to raise the precept by 10%, and then I don't know how often they get filled. Even if it's once a year, it's 6% of the precept.
So it's for this council. But that sounds awful, doesn't it? It does. I want it to sound like that, but that's the reality, isn't it?
It's up to the whole village.
Exactly.
Just pay the money.
It's actually an island, isn't it?
Yes.
It's actually
Yeah.
an island.
I mean, I do.
The trouble is, we, whatever we do or say in this situation, but we have the simple fact of we haven't got the money. If we wanted to do everywhere we do, and how are we to choose which one place would get it if we only did one? We can't do that because to be quite honest with you, they all could do with it.
It could, because it's
And so there's nothing we can do, sadly, because we just
Probably a good point is, once we decide, then we take on the vicarious liability for where we didn't put them.
Yeah.
And then we take the responsibility when we quit. We don't quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not experts, Cheshire East are experts in quitting.
So I think it will be up to the residents of Proctors or near Hayden to fill their own bed.
And probably got one.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do we put this onto the website though and explain to people? Because I don't, it said, oh, the council said, no, you
Well, it's got to be isn't it?
And it went on as a nice paragraph to say that we discussed it. And it would mean even more on the precept.
Yeah.
in the very end of the day, also they can see the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a council, we came back and, well, we'd be more than 10% of the precept because we'd have to put member there. So people want to pay 20%, 25% more than their precept to get through.
It's up to individual roads, closes.
Well, I mean, the bin man couldn't get up to us actually the week before. Not that, but even, you know, you look at the roads that the big wagons can't get up. They're fairly ones. Pardon? No,
I mean, the thing is on a day when you know the bin men come in, you just take your bin down, open. That's
So I think that's a good idea though, to put something on the website to say the reason why we can't.
well, we've been refused them.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to take a vote because unless anyone. Okay, next report vote. Consider maintenance requests. I mean, I look at them, they all seem reasonable. Are any needed to be a constable? So we got a decision for that cost, and the ones that we got constable, we can make a decision on those.
Meet, get quotes or
Yeah.
to push that.
Okay.
Any numbers, yeah, whichever have anything, please pass them over.
Any quotes for some of these small jobs?
I think you said
Yeah.
the clerk has the authority.
Yeah.
Is it £500
£500
to just authorise them?
Yeah, to authorise them, someone to do them.
I can't remember how much was it. I think it was about.
You did? Yeah, no, that's what I thought. Because when you go to things like this,
Everything is doing a lot.
well, we have to have, we have to have fire extinguishers done.
But we don't have to do this.
I think we should.
I think that they do.
It's how individual, if the fire extinguishers are going to days, you can. And likewise, smoke detectors if they're required, then.
The one thing.
So I think they're all. And that's it. So.
I had the whole thing. Yes. Right. But I think.
The fire extinguisher actually is going forward, and it always has been.
Yeah.
The last came out on the 12th of December. I'm not sure that there is a charge for it. Oh, because it's a fire. No, it's not the fire brigade. It's the company. I can't think of its name. But they came up on the 10th of December last year, and did all the fire testing around both in the pavilion and in here. I think it's in there, and fire extinguishers, and he tests the extinguishers, and the one down at the pavilion, he said, oh, you need a new one here, you need another one, and he supplied us with one. So I don't recall there ever being an invoice or a payment for that, because it is something, because that was the next question I wanted to talk about. Is, yeah, do we have to have a safety certificate for the pavilion and for the hall? And in relation to that, I wanted to ask Safety Central or Fire Brigade, would they please come out and have a check over and give us some advice? Because I believe that is actually free. Because there is no smoke detector in here. It was taken down from in here because it couldn't work.
Yeah. Well, yes, we make got a good relationship with the fire service, so that's. We're able to contact them and see if they come down and give us some advice.
Yeah, well, we got
I think they do.
well, yeah, but if they don't come out and say to us, yeah, you know, you might okay, what have you got stored here? They do a general check of the actual safety in the building and advise you. And I think that's something, because we're getting more and more hours, it's something that we should have done for both the hall and the buildings.
I think they do. They have done.
They have, yeah, they will.
Well, something as big as
It's worth asking. Let's ask the question. Just on the access.
And do we need a fire safety certificate? Yeah, and going on to the pack testing, that again is a couple of public sponsors that do it. It was done last year.
Yeah.
The boundary is not good practice.
So we don't want to do it.
I think you do.
Every couple of years, so I'll put the bring forward next year. And then the other things are, well, we know we go to that going, but the outside on the, yeah.
Yeah, so Ian Potts, who quoted the change of policy meeting, before that, and he also said he was going to set the equipment.
So just on the assets, any news about the list?
No. Still not sold. They I think at this time of year, they're not really wanting to take anything on at the moment with them.
No,
But I've sent pictures of them all so that, it's that one, it's,
No, put them on Facebook, Mark. We can put the agenda item. So it doesn't need, but they just need something down. Since we haven't taken off, so just another avenue to sell them.
Okay. There was the one, the fire door at the pavilion. God, yeah, that.
Again, we can
In that, that you strong covers.
Yes.
So yeah, numbers, please hand me in anyone.
Such as people feel.
but that's just we get prices. We'll check on what the limit is for Mark and then you get anybody else who actually thinks we can. I think generally it might be worth sending the asset list to the clerk and then that's all. Good.
Will be repaired should again.
And Ray will contact the
Yeah.
the clerk.
Yeah, I will.
Alrighty. So, item 10.6, report on DFID cabinet agenda items.
Yeah, we're just looking at the thing related here, and including people down here, get the cabinet out sometimes. You can actually register it.
I was going to say, I've been to register regularly, and we can't register that because we can't give it accessible. Because obviously we don't know when the pavilion's open. I could say Wednesday morning. Well, we know the pub opening hours, don't we? That's the thing, it's got regular opening hours, whereas this one, we don't know whether it's been hired for an hour, Wednesday morning, 2 hours Thursday.
Yeah.
So what we need is a box in the outside, which we would have to have connected up to the electricity supply, because you've got to keep it warm, so that it doesn't melt. The other thing I checked it over, it does, while the pads are in dates, it does need new pads coming up. And also it needs a new battery.
Battery replaced before we bought it.
Yeah, it's got a between dates, so I said it will need them eventually, not at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, we do need a box. Because the other thing is, if it's a village asset, then it's more useful outside than inside, isn't it? Where the people can get to it.
Well, I think the reason we got it was because there was so much exercise going on. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it has to be heated, but we don't have costs of installation.
Back in the future, we investigate the cost of a new box for it.
It cost a That's what missing is the installation. It has to be at 8 degrees or above, otherwise the pads don't work. So if you had it outside in a cold box, someone could actually hear. Then it would not work.
Yeah, the box is on.
It's inside the room.
To be fair, when the red line is shut. I think, it's not.
People.
All they can do. It's an emotional about asset. Actually, the other thing I think about it, when I was doing up the location of all the depots. It's on the sheet, but it's all faded.
I will do that to get under that.
But you see, we could then do one. Yeah, if you are going to go ahead with it.
Well, I think it's a good idea. I mean, the only thing I'm missing here is the installation. Just without power, would that be increasing the risk of someone pushing more light having exercising at the end of the time?
To eat it.
To pay you some
After millions.
The pounds pays for the box, or we have another method of paying for it.
Well, we didn't really ask.
So we did the more fundraising.
Just, not for one. I think I thought he was going to get that.
He says no.
After watching the video. I was thinking of it. So, I mean, obviously the community got substantial funds, maybe, it's something that we consider.
We paid for the other one, I don't know.
Yeah, we bought the deacon, which was big expensive. I don't know what back for the money.
Or do we do some fundraising?
Well, money was made on the, last they don't want it, I thought, down the fund day, why can't the fund day funds go to it?
One day funds the community, the events.
Yeah, they did, so the fund day, they made money, didn't they, right? Yeah, they did, they did, yes, they did, but it all went to the community room.
Well, it's up to them what they do with their money. Maybe we could just let them ask if they would consider a problem. If they don't, then we'll have to pick another. Right, we need to know the form. Yeah. I haven't support to do it.
Do we know Do we actually know that if it's fitted outside, that it will stay at the right temperature?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
That's why they have to.
You might want to doing it.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't.
That's why it's still.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
There's no objection to it actually being put outside then. Because, no, it's just one thing, it's first.
And that's the evidence for it. So I actually went on to register in time. So that it's on the side, and I couldn't actually register. We haven't got to access for it.
Is the red wine registered?
Yeah.
It's not 20%.
It's registered for the time you still got it. So as long, if you know you're open between, say, 9, because a lot of shops will have theirs registered with all the standards, but only specific to being those times, because what you do when you dial for an emergency, you tell them your location and they will tell you the nearest accessible box with or AED at that time.
So we've agreed that it's a good idea. We need to get a column installation and we'll go after each week. Hopefully it'll bring us, if not, we'll find some other way of building it. Okay. Item 10.7, just review higher costs. Obviously, originally we put the prices up in April, the new financial year. I think historically, the highest been different, so we've got a lot more multiple hires. So we've got pizza on Friday, band on Tuesday, and I think we probably need to change the hire conditions, because instead of doing one-off hires, we've got continuous hires, but we don't have a provision in the hiring to say you must give us so much notice or pay all the fee, some of the fee, none of the fee. I think that's fine if you're just doing one-off kids parties, but it's not fine when we have groups doing that. So I just made a list of things that I think we should update. So in terms of costs, I think if we get more than 60 days notice, then we give a 50% refund. Less than 60 days notice, 25% refund, and less than 28 days before, we give no refund.
The only thing, like, I think I spoke to you about, more than 60 days, they won't have paid, so you can't refund them anything.
No, but they've instituted a contract to hire it.
Now, we can't actually do this on our current renters, can we, hires? Because they've already signed the other agreement.
Yeah, so usually it's the people who need to do something.
Give them a new agreement.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we have to give them something as well.
Yeah.
That's the purpose of like peppercorn rent. There has to be something here to receive something in the law. So we can say to them, we won't put more here for a year if you agree to the new terms. But if they don't want to agree to the new terms, technically they don't have to.
But what we put in the fee of £39?
Well, it's just that we go for just above inflation, which would be £8.50.
Or shall we make round it up to 9? I think £9 is really reasonable. Everybody jumps at the 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's up with the monthly.
I think it's not in the van, we're just saying.
Oh, it's found the man.
For people that are renting it, like, so, you know, that just scraping by with it, like the Pilates. I think £9 is fair.
I think the difference is there's on the group. Alison doesn't do it to make money, she just does it for a facility for the village. Whereas it's not people who are coming here who are just purely trying to make money. That's the difference. So,
but the money was the band though.
We don't have heating on. So, you know, anything that's got that's exercise, you know, technically we're, you know, whereas you've got people who are sitting down who are turning the heating on, you know, that's the fact of it.
Well, yeah, the commuter have cancelled a lot lately, yeah. One of them has been quiet. So that's unfortunate.
Isn't it about September?
No, not enough. They were here 2 weeks ago.
3 weeks off.
They had 3 weeks and then they got 2 weeks off.
I think, well, I think, as you say, we're now, you know, you've made the village hall, you know, a success really in terms of the amount of hiring that's going on. But people who have got a regular slot, that is preventing someone else having it. And so I think this is entirely reasonable that they, you know, they pay, you know, they can cancel if they know they're going away in the summer, they're not going to be here for 2 weeks, then they can cancel 2 months in advance, and we've got those slots. Something else could happen. We could plan a village event knowing that they're not going to be here. But I think it's entirely reasonable. It's not big money to hire this place.
No, not at all. And I have to say, if somebody came to me and said, we'd like to do something on Friday or whatever, I would for sure be talking to the boys and saying, look, let them have it all. You have to pay because
I'd rather it be used every week and somebody, whether or not we make £32 on a Friday, I'd rather it be used for an hour where it will really, you know, people in the village can really use it. It's more for me about a facility that people want.
No, I get that, but nobody's been to me for Friday.
No, but we've had 2 people come forward who wanted dates for exercise classes. They wanted a look at that.
So just on the changing terms, it was objective.
It's the fact they're not paid.
But that's what it is. Okay, so I'll take the T's and C's. So we're just down to, from the 1st of April, what are we going to charge? So an inflationary charge would be about £8.50, a bit higher than that.
Don't see the point of putting up higher than blanket.
Higher than info.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, right, yeah. But you think that a pound's reasonable? From £8 to nothing.
£1 now is
I think something to compromise. Why don't you say we'll increase it to £8.50 for those people that are already hiring people, and for any new hires, £9.
Does that make the alternate a lot more difficult for people ringing you out with?
It's that's doing it at the moment.
We also have to take into consideration that the price that keeps going up, so
Yeah.
obviously,
Yes, I've predicted how much more it's going to be.
Cheaper rate for some people, especially if they find out that, you know, the people who are paying a little bit more find out that some people are paying a little bit less.
I think it's until the next time we look at it, so we can
So another in December.
become April 1st. We'll have a continuing dialogue in December. Again, I think what we need to do is, you know, I don't mind people saying to go down for a month in the summer, but I think that gives us the opportunity to, you know, definitely got my wine gun on here. Okay. Agree. Okay, moving on. Good time. Item 10.8 was just, I think, improvements for security. We're just looking back to old video. I couldn't sleep. We did discuss originally when we had the change of parish council about the security. So, and we decided that we weren't going to do anything until we had Wi-Fi. So now we have Wi-Fi installed. There are two things. I think there are loads of people in the village who have keys who talk and don't. So I sort of proposed that we have key cameras and ask people to bring them back. And then set up a more formal key monitoring to know where the keys are. And to the pavilion. And then the other thing that we could possibly install a camera to allow us to monitor the area. Certainly there's been a few times where I've driven past and there have been vehicles parked in here. And I've checked with rain and no fire going on, and then no contractors.
Rather to come in and set that up.
Well, we should charge for that.
They're going out somewhere.
I think just generally, having someone watching the asset, and I think we had one day when a door was left open, so we can sort of surmise who did it. But if we had a camera, we would know. We could prove who did it.
Again, the problem though, because when you're driving in, especially in the dark, you get out of the car and all the light. So I personally wouldn't mind the gate show. I mean, I'll go with whatever everybody. Yeah, I think it's stupid.
Yeah. It's really hard to find. You fell asleep the other day and you get. But he was going on, it's going to be ready. I was just doing that after 18 months. So, things like the ring doorbell camera are £50.
I think that's a good idea.
Subscription's £50 for a year. And we can all monitor it so we can get an alarm every time someone don't have to have it, but sort of arrange.
But we know, surely it's coming in.
Well, no, we don't know who's got the police. I don't, sorry, you said doorbell, I don't think you mean doorbell, you mean. No, it wouldn't be a doorbell. That's fine. One could, they could press the doorbell.
Please do it here and they'll go and they're not there. I know you took one once and gave it to.
Well, because who's got else has got a key then to these mailboxes? Well, then there should only be you or.
Well, there's been about 3 of them.
There's gone missing out of the mailbox.
That I've been told have been put in. Various people have asked to put in.
And then there's never appeared.
Oh,
You give a key out to somebody and they've not given you back.
no, it's not like that. It's, I've asked for a key put in here. And then I've probably forgotten and gone 2 weeks later and it's not there.
So you give somebody a key and they're supposed to put it back.
And they said they put it back.
Well, then where else would it be?
Well, you took one once, didn't you?
Yeah, only one.
Did you already take one?
Yeah.
Take it there, man.
Straight away.
Put it for Lucy to pick up.
Yeah, but it looks there.
You can have it with all keys because I don't need some.
So have you got a key? Have you got a key, do you?
Yeah.
We talked about a key box, didn't we?
We did. The only thing we said when it's talked about it, and I don't know if they are, but they are, but you have to remember to put it back.
Yes, good they are.
They would have to put it back.
I have to remember to put it
They are
back.
on both.
That's what last
We had one on our before.
So then, no, the same things in the plans. Just give somebody the keys to the key box, as we change it every
You
year.
have to change it every month or so.
Yeah. And we won't. No one ever does.
I would just change the lock and reissue keys to, and have a list of who actually issued them too.
I mean, that sounds not bad.
I was going to say, that's
Just
interesting.
the meeting organised at the beginning.
Yeah, because
Fairly simple.
if we tried amnesty and we still not got them back, then I think the easiest thing is that we just change the lock, and then if people will need it,
Steve, if we don't know how many keys there are and we don't know who got them, you might know when we've got them all back anyway.
And people might have lost them anyway, you know, what I mean? And if it's not getting, if they've been on the parish council or been to a club or whatever, what interest have they got with it coming here now? I mean, what can they get from there?
it's actually not, I think just change the lock. Wouldn't it be easier for you to manage then?
I actually think key box is the thing to manage, because you.
But the problem is, Dan, if they forget to put it in, and yes, I mean, if you're anything like me, I would get in the car, drive off.
The key box is naturally,
Yeah.
it naturally just put in. The other thing is, you say that it has to be changed every 3 months. We do it. Well, we have an ideal event every month. The council where we change the key lock, and it takes what, a couple of minutes.
But you've still got keys out there that you don't know who's got. So maybe a combination of the two, a change of lock and a box.
I also think a camera's good on it.
Yeah.
Just the general security.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking camera over there pointed this way rather than camera pointing out, because you're not going to get stuff around the corner. One on the right pointing out this way. See,
Depends how strong the Wi-Fi is. So the camera pointing this way.
yeah, well, it won't come unless we want second one. It's shelter there.
Well, then we could put it here.
Then we go in France.
Don't you have to then say that, you know, anyone approaching here, that there's going to be a sign that says,
No,
CCTV.
that's just the security thing. Because it will, they have to, but
They come with a little sticker that you can stick in the window anyway, just showing that there is a.
that's more just the security thing saying.
And actually, because our gate's open, you can come into here, instead of public access. If you're anywhere in public, anyone can take a photo. No
I
laws.
mean, do you think we're having a problem with people coming in differently?
In the water?
Yeah.
No, I think we certainly have something going on in our park. And
But Methodist people coming.
Yeah.
Methodist. I think it's just more about people getting, because it's a convenient place, and I think we've got we trying.
and there have been some Fridays when I come down for pizza and I've come in here and the windows have been sticking there, toilet and bottom.
But you see that on the videos.
No, but you see people coming in, unless they come across the field, but
Anybody.
it's, I know, but if it's open, someone can go around and get into the building. And they were, I don't know, it's about 3 or 4 in a row that was open. So, I mean, people make mistakes.
I just don't see what the purpose of getting into this hole is. Personally, I don't, there's nothing into.
But people don't think, well, kids will do it. Just to get in.
Well, that's a little me.
Okay, so let's take it one by one. The proposal is one that, which.
Nothing with either.
Against.
And what's the alternative? What's a key lock?
Well, that's the next one.
Mm.
Okay, so the original proposal was that we have a key amnesty. The proposal is that we change the lock.
Do we need to cost of that? Or we can go ahead? So. I don't think it'll be a lot of them.
That's,
No.
Depends on the lock.
okay. So the proposal is that we get cost then for a new lock, a key box. Next week we can decide whether that.
Okay.
against the camera and make a decision.
No, it's the plan.
The camera's going to go ahead. So then the camera's going to start costing us money on.
And how we keep them. Yeah. If we change in the lock.
Okay, that's.
That's what they are. Yeah.
They are expensive.
And go.
They're doing 2 for 1.
So, anyone take that? I don't take a vote on this reaction. Right, get past the next meeting. Thank you very much. Right. As well, technology. 10.9 is in the same vein. Some of the other issues it was mentioned, the control of the heating. So obviously people can put it on, leave it on overnight and hundreds of people. In our house we have a fantastic device called a hive. So when I'm away at my pips, and the kids start heating up, I can just turn it on. Far away. So this would be a bit.
Not overriding.
So the idea is to install a hive system and then Lorraine can monitor that. So before a hive goes on. The whole system is sold as a one-off cost of £230. But that's forever. There's no that
So we've got one in our house as well, and it works really well. Really well. You can set so for example, Lorraine, the whole person set a schedule on it so that half an hour before the regular stuff, half an hour before all the happening. Come on, at the point at the end of it, it cuts out.
Half an hour is not enough.
Well, just as
We do half an hour. No, but half an hour won't.
Why don't they just use, we spent money on the new system last year. Because we schedule it, you can schedule it. Well, they do, we came in Wednesday morning, the thermostat was set at 21.
So the beauty of this is someone can come in and turn it up if they want, but Lorraine can override it, and also it would be set so that at the end of the session and they walk out the door, it can automatically flip back to the time to what you wanted it on.
Because when we came in first thing Wednesday morning, was it 11 or 8 degrees, something like that?
It depends.
It depends on the ambient temperature outside. And it didn't get up till it took up an hour and a half for it to get.
I don't know because when I come in here the Monday morning, when you've got nobody in on Sunday, and I put it on at 11:30 for the 12 o'clock class, and by 12 o'clock these are lovely and warm.
What have you done? What number?
Leave it as it is at 20.
So we don't have it at 20.
Well, it's on 20 when you put it on.
I like it. But they don't be radiated so much dark.
20 is that. Every time.
Basically on someone putting it on higher
And not turning.
and then not turning it, forgetting to turn it off.
Didn't the council do that last time?
Maybe, possibly, yeah. But all of these problems disappear, and I think the fact that gas electricity as it is now, I think, so £230 and 40 pence is not an insignificant amount of money, but I think the amount, I think we'll take that in a year probably in just a few events where people have.
Yeah.
I've got whatever that picture is there.
What?
So online is few.
I think when we got ours, the Mini didn't exist, so I don't know about the Mini.
So I think the Mini is like the cheaper version. You can only control it through the app.
Oh, I see. Only people come in to override it in the hall.
But then it's not set properly, or there's a.
Yeah, it's probably better than.
It needs.
Yeah, but it looks like it's really nice. No, negligible.
It might be 50 quid maximum. Of that 230, it won't be a significant, it won't be a huge difference.
The installation is more than the device.
How much is the installation?
But it's up to 30.
That's in with the installation.
With everything. That's
I mean, that comes out of expenses,
That's different. Take 40 quid.
But the problem is that if somebody gives in and it's cold, they're going to be chasing Lorraine or someone, whereas if it's just there, you just change it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the proposal. Yeah.
What are we looking at?
So the high, £230 and 40.
The hive that can be controlled, but can also be altered in here.
Yes.
So the other question I've got is, can more than one person be apt to control it? To the same as one we've got? Because I think that for everything, incumbent clerk should have it. Because just in case, because the clerk is the permanent employee, and will go through whatever sort of election.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Lucy? And having another thing.
So would that mean then that, because I'm not in contact with the people who actually book it.
No, I wouldn't do it.
Stand or whatever.
You've got
You've still got control of it. You can pass it on to the next thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and if you no longer the clerk, you as the it's not you, it's the clerk has.
Yeah, so it's that.
Yes.
So the account would be set up by, Clark,
Yeah.
and then Lorraine could use those one D6 something.
So the clerk would be the controller with the internet.
But it shouldn't be exactly. You wire to something and then connect to the box. I think we set out. But yeah, it's very simple to set up. Okay. So proposer, seconder, for, against. Are you abstaining or?
No, I didn't give a hand at the time.
We've got to vote for. Four. Okay. So everyone.
Oh, we'll do it for half an hour before.
Let's get a bit. Okay. So report on potential use of the village hall for the 18th and 12th, 24. Obviously, Cantor was allowed to use the hall for last year. I don't think it's individual. Is it what time?
It's time to give in all the selection boxes on this year.
It's usually
It's like 8 we sort of go around. We start at 5:30 and 6:30, sort of finish up there about 8. So we need essentially we need the village hall about 6 till.
It's only
Only the Wednesday.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. That you've been obviously subject to competition, so risk plan, maximum capacity of the hall, and insurance. So, I think maybe last year the capacity of the hall was an issue.
Walter will say it was looking.
We do the accounts of the or it's nothing while we've been in council. 80 standing, 40.
Obviously, let's try.
But yeah, I don't know how we go.
How do we calculate?
It's done by surface area.
How much would fine?
What's it like? Yeah, fine. That's probably the plan.
Oh, you must have these many big. Yeah, the pavilion as well.
I mean, we could get a bicycle there, come on. But yeah, I don't know if it was a competent test. Okay, so I haven't got that unless someone wants to vote on that. Good. Nobody voted for it. Good. So,
Anyway, just the report of the meeting we had with the neighbourhood plan group. But we did go through some of that, and the chairman's report last month. I don't think there was any points they want to raise that wasn't clear from the report. So, by way of an update, has the grant been applied for yet? And has there been a meeting?
So we can be cancelled for all this.
Okay, all right.
Well, there has been a lot of it going on. I had it for us. Go back.
What one thing that sort of comes up from the neighbourhood plan, when it's ready, it goes to a vote, isn't it?
We have to pay them.
But
What happens, the neighbourhood, once the neighbourhood plan's ready, the council then agrees.
Yeah.
Once they definitely, neighbourhood plan then goes to a vote to the residents.
Yeah.
Which actually Cheshire East should pay for. But
given what we've already discussed about Cheshire East,
at the moment,
so it doesn't mention neighbourhood plan at all in elections, doesn't it? Yeah, double election.
at the moment, it is a Cheshire East.
And given we're setting budgets as well, then potentially, if it is ready next year, and we haven't got money in the budget to have a vote on it,
Something like
yeah.
Yeah,
But the county council, it's with Cheshire East now saying they're going to charge back for election.
But they can't override that if it's.
Yeah, there has to be a statutory.
Not clear, is it?
Yeah, at the moment it stands with Cheshire East.
Yeah.
I'm not up.
But we've already talked about, specifically quoted that it was an election thing how to rebuild for. This is not an election, this will be a different piece of legislation, so it's exactly what it. Well, I'm sure they can find a way to check it.
Supposed to be asked the clerk to contact Cheshire.
Yeah.
That's such a big idea.
Yeah.
Maybe ask them any plans to change.
Suggested.
I just apologise and maybe step back. I think Jane had a question for the Senator.
If there was no mention of you know, maybe post box out and selection boxes and things like that.
I don't know what. We did go through the picture press in the past that it's always been put in automatically, so it wasn't put in this year. So I'm still what's happening because there was always a slip in there in Pickmere press. There was always for people to fill in. So I think it's in it. Yeah.
Did you not to put that together?
I know you do. You don't get it.
So do you think that
I've not had a chance to talk to them, but I'm going to see what we can do because getting it out there is going to be getting the information out there. Essentially, the
20 different pages.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to do.
and put it in the notice board?
Yeah, but what?
Well, I think, but it was all just an automatic addition to Pickmere press.
I think people are expecting it, so
Yeah.
it's not like we're doing nothing new with just confirmed or people thought there was.
What do you normally get, about 50 selection boxes?
No. Well, this isn't council, so I'll discuss it after council. It's not council.
Okay, you happy with? Okay, so moving on, just to confirm the next meeting will take place on Thursday, the 9th of January, 7:45, here in the village hall. Happy with that? Good. So we don't have a resolution to exclude public and press. So I shall go forward to a closed session.